And now for another episode of Confessions of an Online Psychic with your host, novelist, filmmaker, and authentic psychic, Dave Thompson.
Hey everybody, Dave here, and this is hopefully the first in a bunch of lives I'm going to be doing here. I'm just getting things set up, and let me know when you're watching. And what I'm going to do is, this is something I'm recording locally, and I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel as well as soon as I get a few more people in here. Then I'll start taking questions. There was a question posed by one of my viewers on YouTube, and they said, what do we do when there's a child who is awakening and they know who they are, but the parents are not supporting them? And I can only go from my experiences raising my daughter that it is sometimes rather difficult to understand what another person is going through when it comes to things like awakenings. When she was really small, she let us know in no uncertain terms that she had lived before. And that was at a time I really wasn't exploring this, but it has later led me to past life explorations. And so that was a good thing that occurred. She still remembers it. She and I did a past life exploration on her, and so we were able to pinpoint what time frame in Earth's history that this lifetime had occurred, and with the surroundings around that. So, okay. The other thing I wanted to look at tonight, but let me get back to this other story. I'm easily distracted. There's a lot of bright, shiny objects around me right now. I have the attention span of a gnat that has been sitting on a sugar cube. But when if you know a young person who is awakening and their parents are not supportive of that, there's not a whole lot we can do. Honestly, because so many, you just don't want to step into it unless you're a grandparent or something, and then you maybe a little bit. But if the child's parents are the type to ignore signs like this, ignore the possible karmic implications of karmic looping and stuff like that, then there's not a whole lot we can do until the child is older enough to really start understanding this. A lot of children are kind of they're messed up by their parents, and they're given into situations where they're told that if they hear a voice, they're crazy. If they see something, they're just they're making it up, or it's hallucination. I had a little bit of that too growing up. I'd seen something rather bizarre when I was early teens or middle teens, I forget what. And really hardly anybody around that my grandmother's house at that time really gave it much thought. They kept trying to tell me ways that this could have been something that I'm mistaken. The visual part of it, yeah, it could have been mistaken, but the telepathic portion could not be mistaken. And I still remember that voice in my head. It filled my head, and it was such a soft voice, and it was such a smooth energy, and I just went straight back to sleep. All right, what else I want to look at? Okay, a friend of mine who is in Australia, actually several friends of mine in Australia. Fortunately, they're not in the real bad hot spots right now, but it's looking like the reading that it did back on June 15th is very accurate, because I was seeing Brisbane in that reading. And the information I was getting from my friends was it looked like it was okay. But now she has informed me that, yeah, there's blooming hot spots now around Brisbane. Uh, Australia is filled with people that actually are a little more freedom conscious than the people in the United States. So it's very hard to shut them down as it is here. But let me take a look. Previously, I saw that it would be waning and things almost get back to normal in May and June. And it was trying to do that. But now I'm seeing an early second wave. I was seeing the bad wave starting in November and December, perhaps. And I have a feeling it's going to be hitting sooner if there is a lull in it at all. As states reopen, it's going to be hard to control the virus, and it is now on its fifth or sixth mutation here in the United States. And somebody who is infected overseas and they come back and they don't quarantine, they're going to have a different type of COVID-19 than we would here. The bugs are that different. And some of the mutations are, it's going to be quicker to show up. Instead of a lag time of 10 to 14 days, we're looking at 5 to 7 days, maybe even quicker. It's easily killed aerosol-wise if you can get the right stuff to kill it and just still continue to practice. Wear the gloves, wear the mask. I saw a guy in a store a couple of days ago, and all he had on was just a face shield. And that really doesn't do it. You know, the guy's looking all smug and stuff, like, oh boy, look at me. I've got, I've got this, that, but it doesn't keep him from really spreading it. And it doesn't keep it, if it is aerosol transmitted, which it is, it would still bloom up underneath that face mask. That's a secondary protection. It's like people drive around without their seatbelt on, hoping that the airbag will save them. In the accident a year ago that my daughter had, she was sitting where there were no airbags. And if she hadn't have had her seatbelt buckled, she would have died. So don't rely upon, the weaker methods. Okay. Let's see here. And whoever's with me, let me know you're here. Just say hi or something. I think I'm going to be able to see everybody's comments. I'm going to, looks like it hung up on that screen. Okay, yeah, it looks like it hung up on my other screen here. And then Facebook is bitching at me about two-factor authentication. That's good. That's good. I'm glad it's doing that. And here we go. Let's see if I can see if any. Oh, hi, Fiona. Hi. Okay, so good. I can see the questions as they come through. So kind of purging myself of what I just seen. Well, let me look again if there's going to be any interesting hotspots. Now, last week I saw something happening in Nevada, Henderson, Nevada. I don't know if that guy's with me or not. Hi, Carrie. Nice to see you with us. Hi, Lorianne. Kind of feel like, do you guys old enough to remember this show called Romper Room? And at the end of it, the lady would hold up this mirror and she would be, calling kids' names out that she sees them. And I always thought that was kind of creepy. I really did. I mean, here's the lady staring into my living room. Okay, Janice, I see you there. Thank you. Okay, so let's see what we're seeing here. I don't know why. I'm still seeing some hot spots developing in the Dakotas. An area, Chicago looks like they have it under control. Same thing with Minnesota. People are behaving there. Oh my God, it's just like, maybe we should just wall off the rest of the country from central Florida on south People, it is still in my head. I'm seeing it blooming red. I'm still seeing Houston. I'm seeing cases in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. San Antonio. I see Austin on the decline only after about another 2 weeks. Yeah. Well, that hung up again. You move it just a little bit, but I am thankfully coming live via the software I normally use. Okay. Okay, well, I am, see if I can find out anything else. One person wanted to look at what was happening with the colleges. I'm seeing mostly online learning. I'm seeing that if you want to be in the classes are going to close really fast if you're in school. They're going to, in a class that would hold 20 people, you're only going to see 8 or 9, and they're going to max it out at that. The rest will have to be online Zoom lectures. I'm not sure how this is going to affect the classes that have labs. I know my niece is in a situation where they're not sure if they're going to have labs or not. And then somebody had asked about sports. And I see it being a very short season. They're going to say, no, you can't go to the games. And it's going to be really boring because there's nobody at the games. Not sure I'm going to, they may have some of the bigger games in college, but I'm not sure about the pros. I understand that one of the baseball teams, they were doing spring practice, and a lot of the guys came down with the virus. So we need a vaccine for this. And when you're playing sports, you really can't be wearing a mask. I know some people do. There's this one runner who wears a mask all the time, but you have to be trained and have a better type of mask. Okay, those of you with me, just pop up there a question if you want something answered. Very important, though, to point out that if you have a question that might reveal some sort of personal information, don't ask it in this environment. I have accidentally answered questions that revealed some things about people that they did not want revealed. Oh my God. Carrie, really? She's saying that her daughter's actually having to dissect her advanced placement labs at home, a pig, a heart. Well, I'm into barbecue, so dissecting a large pig would not do so much for me because then I'd wind up putting it on a not wind up putting it on a spit and just rotating it over some hot coals. Okay, Abigail. Abigail, all right, let me read your question. You're feeling stressed out about a group program that deals with working through trauma. And you're committed, and you're wondering if that's my trauma being triggered or in your intuition. Okay. There's a part of you that doesn't want to work through the trauma. There's a part of you that wants to hold on to that trauma as if it's partially defining your personality. If you don't do it, I would recommend doing alpha state meditation. You can do anywhere. You can lay on a bed and do it, and just don't think of anything. Just talk yourself into a relaxed state of mind and focus on breathing. Just in, out, in, out. And when you breathe in, know that you're breathing in clean energy, and when you breathe out, know that you're breathing out bad energy. Use that as a cleansing to get yourself clear on this program that you're in. And that and so a lot of ways, yes, your trauma is triggering your reactions to this program, but also I pick up that there is something there that may not be to your liking. And as a result of that, you probably want to step back and take a look at it, hard look. If you are picking up any red flags, or as we used to say, your spidey sense is tingling, there is a reason for it often, but we have to make sure it isn't your trauma triggering it. So by just brief, you don't have to go sit funny, stare at a wall, or listen to om bells or anything like that. Just relax yourself. Either start at the top of your head, work down, or start at the bottom of your feet and work up. And just breathe in a slow breathing cadence. In a lot of air, out a lot of air. And that often will settle your mind, and it will allow your mind to bypass the trauma, because I am picking up every time you think about the trauma, your heartbeat accelerates. There's the fight or flight response that kicks in, and we've got to control that. Meditation may not do it totally for you. There are meditative videos you can find on YouTube, and they're all over the internet. I would try one of those. All right, Fiona, your health, not so nice diagnosis. All right, let's see. All right. Yeah, yoga will help there, Abigail. Yoga helps. All right. All right. I'm still tuning into Fiona here. So, yeah. Can you imagine? I don't know if any of you old enough to remember these big old radio sets. My father had one. It was enormous. Had these big knobs, and he had sit and fiddle for a long time. And that's what I do when I'm reading your questions. I will fiddle with the knobs. Okay. I am picking up something mid-trunk. I don't know if we're talking. I don't know if we're talking kidneys or intestines. I know they're all kind of mushed in there together. I'm also picking up a blood issue as well. All right. Whenever it comes to medical issues, I always tell people straight out, trust your gut around the doctor. If you think the doctor is good and nice and everything, then you're okay. Do get a good resolution of this, but stick with standard medical stuff. Don't be looking at alternative therapies. I don't. Okay, that could be the blood bit then. But something's happening around your kidneys and your back. So you need to maybe check that out. You may be getting ready to come down with a kidney infection too. All right. Yeah, rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. Rheumatoid arthritis is caused by an out of whack response, immune system response. So you're going to be taking a lot of the therapies are immune response therapies. I would combine with it, I would look into yoga, as Abigail has pointed out. Yoga will help. The only couple of times I've tried yoga, it has kicked my ass. And so, being the type of person I am, I prefer to do the meditative part, not the exercise. But you may find that the limbering aspects of yoga will also assist greatly. Do as much cleaning of your body as possible. But let's don't forget your energy system. There's the aura field, and there's the astral field. All these fields around us, and you've got to cleanse those as well. So let's look at meditation on that. Maybe a Tibetan singing bowl to kind of help get your body retuned. All right. Now, Carrie asked, you're in a toxic situation. I don't know if what I'm doing puts me on the right path. Okay, for this, Carrie, it's a little different. I'm going to look at possible pathways for you. I see a choice of 3 different timelines you can go into. There's one in which you don't really get past the toxic situation. It stays with you. And in that case, you need to switch to one of the other timelines. I'm going to scroll forward, see which one is better. Let's say from your point of view, you're looking straight ahead. The one that's straight ahead is continuing in the toxic. So we need to know if you want to go left, your left, or your right. So I'm going to put myself in your situation, and I want you to send energy towards your left one. Turn around, make sure I'm right. Yeah, it's your left side. That would be the better path to take. I'm picking up there was some karmic complications with this one. But you've overstayed the karma, and therefore it's going toxic. And because you've overstayed the karma, you need to try to get free of that so you can just get rid of that karma thing. Now, mystics and a couple of the people I follow, and they're my teachers, they always say that wisdom erases karma. So if you can look at the situation that you're in and see what sort of karma was there, as soon as you explore it, you can flush it, and therefore you don't have to go through that anymore. A lot of people say, oh, it's karma, you've got to go through it. That is not true. You can mitigate karma in the life plane here. All right. Carrie, osteoporosis. I wonder if it's down in the in your back there then. Yeah. All right. Now, Janice is looking for a community of like-minded people who live nearby for many years and find it when the time is right. Not looking for anything religious-based. Any hints on where this will be? Okay. All right. I'm not sure what town or city or state or province, wherever you're located, but you're going to be drawn to a networking. And then this is networking will open it up. I know where my mom lives. There's a lot of open-minded people like that up there. And this is in the northeast, far northeast. Any further north and you're in Maine, and then after that, Newfoundland. And after that, you've got maybe 5 or 6 feet before you're at the North Pole. But, okay. Yeah. Again, let's look at the possibility of doing some meditation on this. You can also ask some celestial beings. I call them celestial beings. Call them cosmic beings. In the classes I'm doing now, I'm no longer saying gods, goddesses, angels, demons, or whatever. I'm saying cosmic beings, because they are. They're at a cosmic level. Any of them that are also from an alien civilization are probably billions of years ahead of us in spiritual evolution. But you can find somebody you resonate with and ask them for directions as well. Another good thing, okay, this is coming to me, just coming to me. I want you to, wherever you like to sit down outside after sunset, see if you can pick up in the sides of your eyes kind of a glow. And as you turn towards that glow, see which direction that is. That probably is the physical direction. That is the oddest piece of advice I've ever gotten for anybody. Okay. All right. All right. May have to go back to this here in a minute. Okay, Carrie, great. Yeah, it's a karmic-based situation. By doing meditation, by getting a Akashic record reading if you've never had one. Those are a ton of fun. But go towards whatever path it is that's opening up that you sense that's on your left side and throw it energy. Just throw it energy to make it manifest. That's how a friend of mine who is now in Maui, how she was able to get her guy back. Even though I had warned her, when if you go to Maui now, there's going to be chaos. And yes, there was chaos, but I helped her work through it. This took a while. All right, buy your family home that evening and the porch light, which hasn't worked in years, came on. Lorianne, yeah, that's a sign. That is a sign. That's a sign that the energy is getting balanced around the family farm or the family home. Is it a farm? I don't know. And so what's happening is that the energy is balancing around there, and that would be very good. There are spirits there as well. If you haven't detected them, they're going to make themselves known to you. They are benign. They're nice. It's a nice elderly couple. It might be some of your ancestors. I don't know. But they'll be very happy with you being there. Okay. Wow, I got a lot of people in this live. This is really good. Everybody give me a shout out. Let me know who all's here if there's any more questions. Looks like the live stream is doing very, very well. I am seeing some cool stuff here. Yeah, little chat boxes. Hi, Stacy. Stacy, I am redoing that law of attraction hack. I haven't put you in the new group yet, but it will go Wednesday, Thursday. And thanks to your questions, I have altered what I'm teaching. So I think you're going to like that, and you can take it again, but it's free to people who have taken the class before. So let me make a note to open up my other browser here and stuff you into the new group. I don't know why. I got a feeling that you will greatly like being in with the new one. Oh yeah, cranial sacral therapy. Wow. All right. There you go. Stacy, I just sent you an invite into the round 2 of hacking the law of attraction. Holy cow, this thing really works too. That's why I want to do it again, because it's actually helping people. Abigail, all right. Craniosacral therapy. Let me take a second here to take a look at that. See if you're a good match for that. You're going to wade right into that. You're going to have a couple of issues trying to catch up, but I think that's a good match. That really is. That's a good match for you, because you can start bringing in other things to add to that therapy. Okay, right, yeah. That was an easy question. At least you guys aren't asking me to, what's going to happen with the stock market. And I'm not going to touch politics. Yeah, we're on the cusp. One of the things I've shared in several groups, did you know that if only 1% of the population in any given area was to simply meditate and send out peaceful energy, it would improve the lives of everybody in that area? For example, Los Angeles County has 12 to 18 million people, so I'd have to get 1% of that. It's 180,000 people to all sit their ass down and meditate at the same time. Smaller areas of the country, this works. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about sending golden energy into the ley line grid of energy grids that's around the Earth. From my point of view, I would have to send the energy kind of in a northwesterly direction, because there's a ley line that crosses up about mid-coast. That's a main one. Look them up wherever you're at, and just think, you don't have to sit cross-legged or anything like that. You start by putting your hand over your chest area, and as you do, there will be heat building up, and this is building up using the energy points on your palm and your fingers. It's building up a backflow, and then you see it being gold energy, which is kind of an orangish yellow color. And then you simply just visualize in your mind it going that direction, and then just see the grids in the sky and just make sure, just plug it in. We are extremely powerful beings. We're right up there with those cosmic and celestial beings who are around us all the time, and they're here to help us. There are some around us that aren't too nice, so I don't want to talk about those. All right. Anybody else here have a question they would like me to answer while I'm tuned in to the cosmic powers at large? Let's see if I can pick up something. Yeah. You know what it looks like. If you've ever watched cartoons, and there's the Roadrunner, and the coyote is chasing the Roadrunner, and they go blasting out, and there's this cloud around them as they're standing there, and the cloud dissipates, and the coyote is standing in midair, then it drops straight down and hits the ground. That's kind of what I'm seeing about the stock market and the economy. So if you have any way to control your 401ks or any of your investment accounts, pull them out of being indexed to the stock market. Put them into something safe like treasury bonds. Barring that, at least put the stocks into gaming companies and streaming companies, because they are going to still thrive. Same thing with Amazon or Netflix. Abigail, you just might benefit from it, because I don't take a pure law of attraction to it. I'm one of those people I like to mush things up together, even though when I was a kid I had to have all my food separate. But when it comes to magic and stuff, I like to mush things together, and it's not really chaos magic. It's a fusion of the law of attraction with standard magical practices, but that can be done anywhere and at any time. You could do them, you say them to yourself even. And that's something I think Stacy had asked in the last go-round, can you just say it to yourself? And I tested that the other day, and it does work. I did sense those saints appearing next to me. Although one of them was appearing to be a little, when this person appeared, they were being just a little short. It's almost like they were tapping their toes, like, come on, get on with it. Janice, okay, will student loans ever be forgiven? They tried that with the previous administration, but I get that with the major disaster we're staring at with the economy, that's really the only thing that's going to have to happen. The government, a strong government, is going to have to step in and make these banks stop. A lot of debts will be forgiven as a result of that. Not all of them. All right. Money just can't come from nothing. I have no money channels right now. All right, Abigail, that's a very good question. What are the opportunities around you? One of the things I've found with the hacking class is, instead of asking for money, ask for opportunity, and then it will show up. And remember, these are cosmic beings. These are very powerful cosmic beings, uh, and they can do a heck of a lot. Okay, yeah, Lorianne, yeah, I have a different way of teaching. I don't just, like I am right now, I just don't rattle on for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I have slides and I give you handouts so you have stuff you can print out, step by step directions to get you used to doing it. And then at that point, you can start freestyling. Uh, you just start freestyling where you can combine several methods together. And let's say you ask for, show me the way. Show me the way to do this. And you go through the routines and then you get quiet and you're going to hear it. If you have any sort of talent to hearing these beings, they will communicate. All right, Sword of Light. You've been using it. I've also been told that more tools are coming. Have they said anything about the source where the tools are coming from? Month and a half ago, a friend of mine had something happening at her house. And she calls me in a panic because her little dog is freaking out. And she says, there's something here, something weird's going on. And I take a look and I see three things that look like a patio umbrella folded up. Kind of a head shape like that and then just a draping body. I'm thinking, well, shit, she's got these dark beings around there. I need to chase them away. So I shielded her house and I did some energy work with her and I shielded and tried to push these things away. Then another friend of mine got in touch with her as well and said, Dave, these are extraterrestrials. They're not dark entities. And so I've been in contact with these extraterrestrials and they're giving energy tools to people. I happen to have this weird looking, medieval looking trumpet. Another person has this U-shaped device. And as you learn to use it, it sends out tones in another dimension that affects your energy system. And that energy system can be controlled, it can be manipulated. When people say you've got implants attached to you, that's what they're talking about. There's something attached to your energy system which is draining off energy. I have found myself in kind of a whirlpool of energy, and it seemed to be focusing right here. And Marina, she said she uncoiled it and plugged it into a couple of directions, and then in meditation, these ETs showed back up to me again. For lack of a better word, I'm calling them the Ralphs. Okay, they sound like a guy named Ralph in my head, and they're so naive and innocent because they're at such a high level. They just don't understand what's happening with humans. They don't understand why we're in such fragile physical bodies as well. And and let's see, divine light. I've had dreams about dark. I'm trying to remember. Okay, yeah. All right, Stacy. Use that sword to just take it around your body a couple of times. That'll keep any of these hooks or implants, these dark beings, because if they're visiting you in your dreams, they're visiting you on the earthly plane. But we got to make sure what type of unearthly beings are they? Yeah, Abigail, Lorianne is correct. It's one. I was just doing the class for people, and I was going through one of the exercises, illustrating it. And those of you who've taken that class, you'll go, wait a minute, I was saying, and I was just going through it, and then I detected them here, and I go, okay, whatever. And I said a money amount, and in 2-3 days, that money amount was in my bank account, came from a surprise direction. All right. Divine light. Yeah, okay, that's actually could still be extraterrestrial in origin, because I've come to the conclusion that a lot of the divine beings that are around us are extraterrestrial in source. I saw a post on Feisty Witches about a lady who did a past life explorations, and she was a mermaid-like creature on one of the planets around the double star system Sirius. And that is correct too. The people that are on Sirius are aquatic. They're like Aquaman. They're like the Little Mermaid. And their technology is around that. And when the Earth School is thrown together, people from multiple different planets came together, and it was the energy, the soul patterns that came here. And in Genesis and in the Old Testament, it talks about how humans were shaped out of the clay of the earth, and that was a metaphor, because in order to inhabit a physical body on the earth, you have to craft that physical vessel out of what the earth is, or you're not going to be able to live here very long. That's what they did. Yeah, I may need to post some links to those very interesting books. I think at one point in time in the mid 2000s, I had every one of them. They're big, thick books. And the first time I'm reading them, okay, this guy, he's channeling. And I knew a little bit about channeling, and now I respect channeling even more. I can't give up that kind of power to do true channeling. I can't do automatic writing. I just get the guy standing behind me yelling in my ear what they want me to hear. It's sort of like, it's not even like the sign language lady in the background at the government things. The guy's like, yeah, 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 like that at me. James! My God, James! James is a great guy. He is an artist. He is a magician. And if you need talismans or amulets made, he's the guy to go to. I mean, his work is fantastic. He also has a great group in which he covers and talks about all the more beautiful books about magic, if you want to get into it that way. Yeah, James, I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. All right. Wow, coming up to 40 minutes. Who else is here? If anybody, I'll take 2 more questions. I don't like my lives to go on very long. It gets boring for people watching them. But, you know, anything you want to discuss, we will talk about, because it's in the United States, West Coast. It is 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Boise is 10:52. All right. All right. Let's see. Abigail, have you ever lived on another planet as another kind of being? Let me take a look real quick. Yes, you have. Your original soul came from a group of ETs that are in the Pleiades, direction of the Pleiades, about 400 light years away. They were part of the original experiment as well. I am picking up several thousand previous lifetimes, a lot of which were occurred here on this planet. So you're going to want to find some audio tapes and go into self-meditation and explore that. I don't think you're in the financial bracket yet to be able to hire somebody to do past life with you there in person, but I can recommend Richard Sutphen's past life explorations. He's got a bunch of audios. I think they're on Spotify. You can also find them on Amazon. Renee, Carrie. Yeah. Honestly, all of us have been here a lot and this is something it's difficult to wrap your brain around, but think about it like this. From the spirit point of view, imagine, I'll do it like this. You can see my hands up here, all right? And you see all the little fingers. Well, right now, if you just look at the fingers, those are individual peoples. But look, it's connected to a hand. And that's how our hands, that's how our souls are, okay? So we project individual lifetimes, but they're all connected to our main soul. And from our soul's point of view, our higher soul, oversoul point of view, it's all happening at once. And if from my soul's point of view, my most recent life may have occurred Earth time when they were building the pyramids. But from an Earth point of view, my most previous lifetime was World War II. Using Richard Sutphen's audios, I've explored that life. World War II RAF pilot shot down over France, crashed into the English Channel. Previous to that, I was a farmer who started out in Pennsylvania, moved to Missouri. I lost my wife in childbirth with her 4th child. And then I raised the kids by myself. Previous to that, I was in the Revolutionary War, and I was one of the minor officers in that. And I was taught to go parlay with this one British dude who, as very clear, started out as a dream and then it went lucid. I explored, and the gentleman, I go in, I said, General Washington wants to know the circumstances under which we are to do battle. And he says, he goes, I want you all to surrender so I can put you all to the sword. That was his reply. And best I remember, we got roundly defeated at that one as well. Then we go back, there's something that happened in Tudor, England. There was something that happened in the, I think the 12th century, and that was the one that actually had Candace in it. And she was like a grandmother or mother to me, and that's the most previous life she remembered when she was 2. She was 2 and barely starting to talk, so it was really wild the way she just blurted out what it was. All right. Whew. All right, I am going to wrap this up. This is 50 minutes long, and I'm going to put this, it's going to be archived in the Treehouse group. And those of you I did readings for, you can go back and make notes. Yeah, I'm never boring. You can say that right. All right, thanks for joining me, everybody. And I want you guys to have a pleasant rest of your weekend and have a great week coming up. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining me. Okay, bye-bye.